Have you ever looked out your window and seen an animal? Maybe a chipmunk or a rabbit or even a bird. We are going to act like outdoor animals and play with letter sounds that start words on Read, Write, Roar.
This program is made possible in part by the Kresge Foundation, the Lauren and Philip Fisher Fund for Children and Education, the W.K. Kellogg Foundation, the State of Michigan, and by viewers like you. Thank you.
Hi! Welcome to Read, Write, Roar! You got it. You know exactly what to do. Let's start today's lesson by singing a song. Let's get out our itsy bitsy spider. You ready? The itsy bitsy spider went up the water spout. Down came the rain and washed the spider out. Out came the sun and dried up all the rain. And the itsy bitsy spider went up the spout again. If you were to think and look outside your window, I want you to think about an animal that you might see, and I'm going to write it down. I'm going to think about the first one, and I'm going to show you what it is. So the first one, this is a lizard. So a lizard starts with the sound L, makes an L sound. So lizard. I might see a lizard if I'm walking outside.
I might see a spider.
You might see a spider. Let's write the word spider. You really want to see that venomous spider.
But this bird is like all over the country. But
It is.
one is
What else might we see?
But one
A
spider.
squirrel. A squirrel. Look at that. They both start with the letter S.
That's
Squirrel.
gonna be the same sound.
Yep, they do have the same sound. Yeah, what is a word that you think?
A dog.
A dog. And a dog does not start with the sound. It makes an S. It makes a D sound. A D.
Yeah,
A D.
dog.
A dog. You're thinking of something different. What else are you thinking?
A stray cat.
A stray cat. All right, let's think about that. Stray would start with that S sound, but let's just write the word cat because I think I might run out of room. But I want to talk about that. You use a word or an adjective that describes that cat. We're going to do that with all of these animals that we have up here. Let's write what they are. Lizard, spider,
Spider.
squirrel, dog, cat. We're going to act out some of these animals and we're going to give them something silly that they might do that's going to start with the same beginning sound. So make the first sound in lizard. It makes a L sound. L. So if I said eat, if I put it together, eat, leap, leap. Leap is like a jump. So we can stand up and we're going to be a leaping lizard. Get ready. Stand up and leap. Yep, that would be a jump. We're going to leap and be a leaping lizard because they both start with a L sound. All right, let's act out the next one. What about a spider? What might start with a sound? Yeah. What do you think?
You scared?
Scared. Scared spider. How would we look if we were a scared spider? I would be scared. We could be a scared spider, a leaping lizard, a scared spider. What would we be if we were a squirrel? What are you thinking?
Let's start with the letter S.
It has to start with the letter S.
Snake.
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 It would be a snake.
Snake.
What do snakes do? They slither.
Slither.
Slither. So it could be a slithering squirrel. A slither. When you slither, you kind of move like this. A slithering snail. Oh, no, squirrel. Yeah, see? That was something I've never seen before, so that made me think about it. A slithering squirrel. What about a dog? What could a dog do? What are you thinking?
I keep on forgetting that we have to start with.
I know that starts with the same. I could give you a clue. What do you think I would be doing if I did this?
Dance.
Dance. Yes, I could be a dancing dog. So take out your moves and show me how you'd be a dancing dog. Oh, I know you got moves. I know you got moves. Stand up and let's be dancing dogs. Ready? Stand up and show me how you move. How would you move? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Get your shoulders into it. All right. How would you move? Show me your moves. How would you dance? You can just twist. That's it. It's actually a dance. It's called a twist. It is. It's a dance. We could be dancing dogs. And what would you do? Oh, kick your leg up. That one I'm going to leave to you because if I do it, we'll be done for the rest of the day. And that would be another one. Done. Day. Dog. They all start with a duh sound. And what about, that's a C for cat. What could it be if it was a k? What are you thinking? A climbing cat. So show me, how would be a climbing cat? Yeah, climbing cat. Yeah, you all remembered some really fun movements that we could do. That was with a lizard, a spider, a squirrel, a dog, and a cat. Guess what we get to do today? We get to go on an alliteration walk. So we're going to look at some things we find in nature and see if we can come up with a matching word that says the same sound. So what would we say if we saw this leaf? What would it be? A leaping leaf. Or a laughing leaf. What were you thinking?
A leaving?
A leaving leaf. That could be it too.
Yeah. What about that squirrel?
Oh, a squirrel. You saw a squirrel. What would we say about a squirrel?
A squeaking squirrel.
A squeaking squirrel? A squirrely squirrel. I think a scampering squirrel. They all start with a sound. I see a light post. What sounds like for light post? A living light post.
A living light post?
Yeah. And remember, not all words have to actually be a real word. Sometimes they can be silly. Like when we said zoopy zoos, it doesn't have to be a real word. It just starts with the same sound. What about a plant?
Pretty plant?
Pretty plant. Yeah, that's something different. They all start with the same sound. Oh, what are berries? What would be for berries?
Baby berries.
Baby berries. Beautiful berries. Thanks for joining me. That was a wonderful walk. So now that we've done the movements, let's think about what they were and let's write them down so that I'll remember for next time. So I'm going to make 2 lines to remind us that it's 2 words we're going to write that describe this lizard. What was that lizard? What did it do? Do you remember? Leaping. All right, do you show me how to leap again? Show me how to leap. Yeah. So leaping, and remember it starts with the L and they make the sound leaping. Leaping lizard. There was a leaping lizard. Now we're thinking about that spider. Do you remember what the spider did? We had 2 words to describe the spider. What was the spider?
Scared.
Scared. Scared. Show me your scared faces. Yeah. Well, I'm telling you, you got that mastered. You would be a scared spider. Now, remember that squirrel. What was the squirrel?
Slithering.
It was a slithering squirrel. Show me how you slither. Yeah, you're moving all around. So let's be a slithering squirrel. They start with that S sound again.
I know how to write the word slithering squirrel.
Yep. Well, so we write the word slithering. This is slithering. That's one word. And then we'll write the word squirrel. And then dog. What did that dog do?
Dance.
Dance. It was a dancing dog. And that cat. Do you remember what was the cat? The climbing cat. And then show me how to be climb. Wait a minute. Did you show me that dancing dog? I don't think you showed me your dance move. Show me that dancing dog again. How were you dancing? Get the shoulders out, remember? Oh, yeah. There we go. We got one dancing dog. The rest of you might be dozing. That's another word that starts with a D. You could be sleeping. And then you have to write climbing.
Sleeping.
Yeah, another word for sleep could be dozing when you doze off.
Dozing.
Yeah. Dozing dogs. They are falling asleep. And then we have the climbing.
That was
cat.
so funny.
Yeah.
Dozing dog.
A dozing dog. Well, if you're not dancing, you must be dozing.
And then
You weren't a dozing dog? No, because you got your shoulders moving. You were a dancing dog. But if you weren't dancing, I'm thinking you were dozing. That happens sometimes. All right, and then we were a climbing cat. You all did so well.
In today's lesson, we really focus on first sounds and words. Playing games with letter sounds and words can help build your child's language. A good game to use is alliteration, which is when words that have the same first sound are next to each other or very close to each other. Tall towers or fancy flowers are examples of alliteration with words next to each other. Alliteration examples with words close to each other but not right next to each other are packing big presents or walking in water. Even silly words to practice alliteration work, like zoopy zoos. Alliteration can be practiced at any time. I bet when you're driving down the road, you see stop signs. What a great opportunity for a child to practice alliteration with stop signs. Notice the alliteration with the S sound? Also, to make connections to environmental print, which is print found in everyday life. Playing with words is an easily accessible early literacy activity that can be implemented at many different times. Give it a try.
You all did so well. You remembered that there are beginning sounds, and we can put two beginning sounds together to describe animals that we might see outside. Hey, we had so much fun today. See you next time on Read, Write, Roar!
This program is made possible in part by the Kresge Foundation, the Lauren and Philip Fisher Fund for Children and Education, the W.K. Kellogg Foundation, the State of Michigan, and by viewers like you. Thank you.